it's Carolyn and Michelle, aka LA Triathlete and Fuel My Run. And we're going off course.
Hello. I don't know why it's coming out like that, but that's how the hello came out of my orifices. It's Michelle here. We're doing a little solo ep today. Carolyn will be on in a little. I have some random stuff on the docket, some things that I think are very important, and some things that I personally probably only think are important. Maybe you do too. Starting with, okay, when did we go from carbo load to carb load? Like, carbo load now is so corny to say, which, like, don't get me wrong, sometimes it will come out of my mouth, but the irony, carbo load goes into the mouth. But now you just say, I'm going to go carb loading, like carb load. You don't say carbo load. You know what I mean? I was playing around with ChatGPT to edit something that I had written, and it auto-corrected carb load to carbo load. And I'm like, okay, cornball. Like, what the heck? So I don't know. Am I wrong about that? Like, I just want to know what year. I don't know. Maybe it was 2020 when we went on a different timeline. We all of a sudden started calling it carb loading instead of carbo load. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like the, what is it? The Mandela effect. I feel like that kind of goes with that concept. So let me know if you call it carb load or carbo load, because my mind is being blown, but my stomach is being fed. Okay. So I've been, a big goal of mine was, and I've talked about this before, but wanting to use running to propel me to do more activities. Cause it's like, okay, I'm going to be running all the time. Also, I'm realizing if this is your first time listening to this, typically Carolyn and I will just be bantering about random topics kind of related to fitness, endurance, sports, but then also random too. So this is my brain, half of going off course, just kind of going for it. But something I've said in the past is I want to use running, my predominant activity that I do, to help me do other things in life. Hence, I joined. Actually, I didn't join. I was not invited to join. I substituted on this beach volleyball team. And I had my second game yesterday. When was the last time I touched a volleyball? Probably 10 years ago. I don't even know. I've been wanting to play volleyball for a long time. I just didn't play in high school. And when you don't play, in school, it's like, what is up with my hair? If you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, you can get a visual of insane bangs. But I didn't play growing up or in a league. So it just was more difficult to join another league. But this league is hilarious because my friend Maggie, she's connected to the soccer team here in St. Louis. She played volleyball in college. So of course she's like, really freaking good at it. But then on this rec league, it's a ton of ex-athletes, kind of a variety of ages, anywhere from 20s to 40s. Everyone is super athletic, but no one played volleyball but Maggie. And it's just kind of funny because everyone's pretty good. I mean, I'm the worst because it's only the second game of my life. Me to trying to come up with an excuse, but it is so freaking fun. And it just makes me realize I need to continuously play and do other sports. But after the first match, is that tennis? I don't know. After the first game, I guess there's like 3 games. You play 3 no matter what in this league, and whoever wins 2 of them wins. So, and you play a 3rd game no matter what. It's just kind of fun. Like, it's good activity. But after the first game, a girl on the other team walked up to me and she goes, "You have the best hustle of anyone I've ever seen out here." And I realized in that moment, the backhanded compliment that I was getting, because this is the lowest level rec team that exists in the league. And no one's diving, because why would you dive? The entire game, I'm just diving for like the ball will be like 20 feet away. I'm still like jumping and like doing like somersaults. I have no idea why I'm like this, but I have sand everywhere. Like, I keep on finding sand in new places. And after the first game, I was so sore. And after the first game, I thought I was going to be a lot better than I was in the second game. So I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that. Like, once I played golf loosely, 9 holes, par 3. And I was like kind of good. And then I tried to play another game. I like missed the ball 3 times on the first hole. And like the first hole was positioned next to the driving range and everyone's like watching. I'm sorry. I just cannot hit a golf ball with somebody staring at me. Apparently it's the same thing with volleyball. But yeah, if this inspires you to sign up for a rec league, which is like, if I didn't get invited by Maggie, I think I would be pretty intimidated to like get into it. I will be moving soon though, back to Long Beach. And maybe this is a sign I need to find someone who does a rec league and just like tag team with them. I would love to do basketball. Anyway, random stuff, but fun. It's like, what am I going to do? Just like be in decent shape from running and not do anything with it? No, I'm going to hit a volleyball and hopefully it'll go over the net sometimes. Anyway, I also signed up for, well, I didn't sign up. So there's something called the Biz Dash 5K in St. Louis. And apparently it's a ton of businesses get people to run a 5K. It's actually kind of big. I feel like there were 8,000 people there. At least the year before, I think there's like 7,800. So it's not small for being randomly in the middle of the week at 7 p.m. So this comes a week and a half after I did the Big Sur Marathon. And I'm pretty recovered, obviously not fully, but I'm fine. And I didn't kill myself in the marathon that I ran a couple weeks ago. So that kind of means I have a little bit of energy. Like I should be able to kick it. And I got the bib from Dov and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And he was kind of like, yeah, everyone's thinking that you're going to win the race. I'm like, you need to tell everybody right now, there is 0 chance that's going to happen. I've never ran a sub 20. The winner last year ran it in 17 minutes, which seems impossible to my poor little soul. So that's not going to happen. Okay. What's crazy though about the 5K is the amount of, and I didn't do this correctly, even though I got like a little bit of a run in, but like how much warming up you need before going into the race versus a marathon. I almost feel like the longer, and it's kind of true, the longer the distance of a race, the shorter a warm up you need, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like for most of my marathons, other than maybe 2 where I did a shakeout run before, but like at what cost? It turns into an ultra. My warm up for a marathon is usually walking to the start line, walking in the bathroom lines and walking to the start line from the bathroom lines. You know what I mean? And then also doing some squats, leg swings, stuff like that. But I'm not going out and doing like a 2-miler. I'm not even running a mile, even a half mile. I'm like, at what cost? I'll warm up in the first mile of the race after I do some lunges, you know what I mean, at the start line. Pretend like I'm actually doing something. But for a 5K, you can't just go into the race cold. That sounds like the worst thing ever. And even though I did run 2 miles before this 5K, if I were to do it correctly and say, Michelle, you're going to go balls to the wall, try your hardest, I would be doing at least a 2-mile warm up and then some strides to feel what it feels like to get that leg turnover going. Because once you're past the start line, you're kicking it. You're kind of kicking it the whole race. I would also do dynamic warm up, but it just wasn't that kind of race. Everyone was like taking photos, holding a Michelob, and I'm just kind of like doing leg swings and squats. I'm like, I can chill a little bit. But when I knew I went out too fast because instantly in the first quarter mile, I got a side ache and I was like, well, that's not like a good sign. And my mouth completely dry. It was like I was running in the middle of the Sahara Desert, 100 miles in. I'm like, I've been running for 4 minutes. Like, what is going on? 2 minutes, whatever. So I actually felt pretty good around the mile mark, and I hit like way too fast of a mile for what it was. Like a 6:24 or something, which it's just, 5Ks, you never know if it's going to be good or not. In a 5K, I feel like it's a little risky because you kind of want to go all out, and if you have it, you have it. And if you don't, you don't. You can be a little strategic. You can do like slight negative splits. You could start a little bit slower and ease into it. You're kind of consistently going at a pace that's going to hurt. You know what I mean? Like no part of it's going to feel good. So in my head, when I clocked that first mile, I was like, you know what? I don't feel terrible. I'm going to keep going. And then all of a sudden, my body was like, absolutely not. We're done. Like we can't even do this anymore. And I know when you look at my splits, I'm still running in the 7s. And when I say I was jogging, it just felt relative to the first mile that I was just trying to exist out there, which is always kind of funny when you're doing a run, especially a speed workout. When you run a little bit slower compared to the interval you're doing, it always feels so much slower relative to the faster pace you were running. So even though I was running in the 7s for the last couple miles, it felt like I had just been like stabbed in the heart. Depressing. Anyway, so that was challenging and painful. And I think it's because I just started writing a new running book that I was like, I can do it. You know what I mean? Like you just get like a little motivated and you just think you can do a 5K. I don't know why that's allowed, but maybe this is your sign to sign up for a random rogue 5K and see what you can do. Eventually, eventually a good day will come, you know? Here's the thing. When I hit that wall after the first mile, I knew in my head, and especially going into it, I think I told myself this, if it was going to hurt, like I knew that, but if I hit that like wall pain, it was just good experience. Hitting the wall in a race, which I have done many a marathon at that wall. At this point, like I live at the wall and I just don't know if I'm going to hit it or not, but it's like right there. I think it's a good experience to have bad races because then you just get a little bit stronger and you've faced more adversity with running and it will all equate to better races in the future. And then also, if you feel a pain a little bit less than that bad pain, it won't feel as bad. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm not doing a 5K anytime soon. I'm joking. I will if I find one, but I have some longer distance races that I'm training for, which I'll talk about soon because I'm still trying to figure out what's actually possible. So I was talking with a friend the other day and we're talking about like getting the inspiration to do things and like, you know, whether it's like trying a new style or beach volleyball or, you know, like going on Survivor, because she was talking about that. Shout out Julia if you're listening. And we came to the conclusion, I don't know if she wants to be grouped into this thought, but I'm going to put her there, that everybody deserves a friend pimp. Hear me out. That you should have at least one friend that's like, you are amazing at this, so you should be doing this. Or like, you know, suggesting like you have, let's see, you are so good at drawing. I'm thinking of a friend in particular. You're so good at drawing. You should list a couple of your paintings or, you know, sketches online and see if anyone buys it. You should make an Instagram page. You'd be so good at that. I feel like if you notice your friend is good at something, it's so important to not only compliment them, but not like be pushy, but just show them that like you're thinking about them and tell them what they might be good at if they're not considering it already. I don't know. I think those friendships are so special when it's like your friend sees how good you are at something. I don't know. I think it's so interesting. I feel like if you're pushing your friend towards something that they're passionate about and like asking how you can support them. Like my friend Emily, she helped me record this video once and I was like, oh my God, that was so fun recording with another friend. And also thank you for supporting me to like make whatever creative vision I had come to life. And I don't know, it just, when I feel like you support your friend outside of just like going out to eat or like going and having a coffee or just you do something to help like push who they are, it's just so much more meaningful. Maybe, I feel like I've seen these, I don't know, maybe you've seen them, the post that's like, have a friend admin night. I feel like Giggly Squad talked about that too, like admin night where you just like sit down and get a lot of stuff done, like look at your bills and pay them and organize a trip. I don't know. You do all your admin. And I feel like those hangs are so meaningful because you feel so accomplished after. Not those specifically, but like there should be some hangs where you're sitting down, you're talking about your goals, you're talking about how you can support each other. Those hangs would be huge. I don't know. Mutual friendships to me, the best. Also, I was laughing the other day because I feel like every time marathon runners talk about a race, they're like, oh yeah, the course ran long. I clocked in 26.4, you know, it just like that extra 0.2, it really killed me. And then you see ultra marathoners running like 10 miles extra. And it's like, it's so funny to me that we complain about like such a small distance over when ultra runners in certain races are just running extra miles. I'm sorry, an extra 5K after hitting 100 miles. Well, first of all, you know when you're doing a race and your body like will shut down when it thinks the finish line is at a certain spot, but it's not there. Like you turn a corner assuming it's there and it's not. And all of a sudden your legs are like, oh, well, we thought the finish line was there. So we're going to go slower now. This also relates to bathroom stops. When you think a bathroom is in a certain spot and you just like can't convince yourself it's open. Oh my gosh. This used to happen in Long Beach all the time. There'd be so many bathrooms. It was like bathroom roulette. It's like, is this bathroom going to be locked today? Or am I going to be able to pee without going to jail? And so that's my point. Oh yeah. Every time I run now, if I see a bathroom, I have to put in my head that I'm actually not going to go to the bathroom there and that I'm going to wait like another mile to go in another spot just in case it's not open, because my body will be so mad at me if it thinks I have to go to the bathroom and then it's not an option. I think more people understand this than are going to admit to. I was just messaging someone on Instagram very, very briefly. Shout out to Jill if you're listening. About just, we could have been talking about two different things too. We never really confirmed. But she mentioned like taking a break from Instagram and just, I don't know, running, but like maybe it's just Instagram. And it kind of hit home for me. And again, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but sometimes if I'm on a loop of Instagram, which is hard when you post and you kind of like are going through a hard time too, and you just like want to like zone out to scrolling, which is obviously terrible on the brain, but it also helps numb the brain and like decreases anxiety while also increasing it at the same time. Not even running comparison, but just like people have such strong, and again, it shouldn't matter, but people have such strong running views on certain topics that are just kind of like, I don't know, like road running is so lame. It's all about trail running. And don't get me wrong, I love trail running. And I had like a 5-year period of my life where I would prefer trails and hit up the trails every weekend. Unfortunately, with my dog, she's not totally trail trained right now. And I wouldn't trust her. Like, I wouldn't trust her off leash if there was like a mountain lion or a snake. Like, we haven't done that training yet. So I don't feel comfortable taking her on the trails. And you know, she's a Doberman Malinois. She has a lot of exercise to give. And I was out of town for 3 weeks. This girl gained 4 pounds. I didn't think it was possible for her to gain weight. But I think we've been feeding her like a half portion more than she typically should for her weight. She's been like consistently, since she got to her full height, I don't know, her full stature. She's like around 49 pounds. I got home from my 3-week when I was gone. She was 53 pounds. And I'm like, oh, she wasn't running. And she's starting to gain weight a little bit, which is fine. You know, I'm not body shaming her, but what I'm saying is she needs to be ran, and she is like a high energy girly. So it's really hard for me to get out to the trails. But anyway, like I'm scrolling on social media and I'm just like hearing people talking crap about road running. And again, running is so individual of like what you need, what you get from it, the mental health benefits, all that, those kind of things. And also like with races too, when people talk crap about certain race distances, it's just so silly to me. It's like, okay, it's cool if you're new to the sport, but like, it's crazy when people talk trash about a certain distance. I'm like, okay, like you haven't been around in this world for a while, or else you would know that each distance is special for different reasons. And I think it's really cool that ultra running is getting a lot of love. And I love it. I love following it. I think it's awesome. And I think it puts the sport of running on the map even further. And I think that's like kind of the whole point. Like that's why I wanted to create content at first too, was just like to connect with more runners in general, regardless of road or trail. But it's just like I don't know. And again, it shouldn't affect any of us. But when we consume it over and over and over again, it kind of atrophies our brain. I think that's social media in general, though. It's rage bait to a certain degree. And then, I mean, everyone just has like such like, I don't not, okay. I hate saying everyone because it's not the case at all. There's so much inspiration that you can find. And I mean, hey, this could be a sign to like, if you are scrolling and like numbing your brain to try to only look at positive or funny or inspirational things, or like really try to train your algorithm to not go into rage bait. I don't even know if that's possible. But I don't know. I hate the negative videos of like, this is why your running outfit sucks, or like, this is why road running is stupid. It's like, what? Just let people do what they want to do. I don't know. It's very interesting to me because running, when I learned about running, it was just a form of, first it was a form of exercise. Then it was a form of, you know, mental health. What's the word? Incremental help for mental health. And then it was just like a fun social activity with mental health benefits. And then now it's kind of like everything, you know? And so it's so funny to me to negatively position something that has so many benefits. But you know, running is terrible for your knees. So I'm joking. I'm joking. And you know what? Before we go to Carolyn's segment, I just want to say another Instagram message with a friend, but he sent me this video. I totally forgot that I saw a documentary on it once, but the longest, this blows my mind. Again, resurfacing this in my long-term memory, but the longest ultra marathon is, drum roll please, let's see if you can guess it, 3,100 miles. Okay. And it's a half-mile loop in Queens, New York that you just repeat, and you have like 52 days to do it or something. Even though I have seen this documentary and I'm trying to remember it, there's some things that I'm questioning. Like the first thing that pops into my head is, do you have to camp? Because then I'm out, you know, like hook me up with a hotel suite. If I'm going to be running like on average 2 marathons a day for that many days, I want a massage. I want concierge. I want a burger and fries, like, and I want a comfy bed. Like, I don't want to be camping. You know what I mean? Like that automatically puts me at a position where I would never consider this, outside the fact that I don't think I would ever do a race that long. I'll have to ask Carolyn what the longest distance she would ever consider is, because she's done an Ironman before. I know she signed up for a 50K. I have a 50K coming up too. I've always kind of considered 50 miles being the longest that I would consider. But part of me also thinks like, I mean, 100-mile race kind of sounds fun too. You have to look at what you can't do if you do that. You know what I mean? Like I probably won't be playing much beach volleyball if I'm training for 100. I probably won't be dabbling in a random 5K, 10K and trying to get faster at shorter distances. And I feel like those are so doable and so like fun to a certain degree. And I also get nervous to what that would do to my brain, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, because I've done 19 marathons. I'm already like slightly addicted to running. And I don't know, the risk of injuries, and also, which like, again, if you're doing it correctly, it's not really that high of a risk or anything. But I don't know, if it just doesn't sound what I want right now in my life. And I don't know. I almost feel like saying that I don't want to do 100 ever makes people not respect me as much. Is that crazy to admit? Because it's like, it shouldn't matter. Like I shouldn't be running for respect of others, and I'm not. But I also feel like there's this weird, like, I guess also too, let's say you're somebody who only does half marathons and doesn't do fulls. That's fine. That's your prerogative. I'm sure I've tried to pitch a marathon on you, but that's my own issue of, you know, trying to recruit all of my friends to do a marathon. But you should be able to do that half marathon without doing a marathon and like not have others bother you about it. So I'm kind of going back on my entire thing right now, pitching people to do a marathon. But it's like, I don't know. There's always going to be that external pressure for no reason, especially with social media. Anyway, something to chew on, something to think about. I'm going to go carbo load now. I actually need to go on a run soon, but I'm like really full from lunch, so I'm going to have to wait at least an hour or two. But anywho, we'll pop into Carolyn's portion now. Hope you guys have a great week. TTYL. Okay, bye.
Hi guys. Okay, we are doing a solo episode again today. I'm going off course. I feel like we've had to do these a lot lately, and I apologize because, I love recording with Michelle. I just feel like our dynamic is so good. The conversation flows, and then when I record by myself, I'm like, what the fuck do I talk about? And that's kind of how I feel today. So I'm just gonna do like a quick episode. I'm also sitting. I'm like kind of want to sit on the floor. Do you ever just get the girly urge to sit on the floor? It's usually after I do a long run. I think it's because I'm like stretching my hips, and I never stretch. So when I sit on the floor, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's good shit right there. So yes, guys, and then we can get Juno in it. Happy Mother's Day to me, my sweet baby cats, and happy Mother's Day to the actual moms out there. I'm recording this on Mother's Day, clearly. But yeah, I don't know what's new, honestly. Today I did the longest long run I've done in a long time. And can I say long any more times than I've said it just now? But it was a 2-hour long run, and it being about 14 miles, which was kind of fun. I feel like it's been, I don't know, with the ankle, it's been touch and go. And then just like, I don't know, like being in Ohio, and I was kind of off my game, and I put down a 17-hour week this week for training, which is crazy. I think I didn't take a rest day this week. Monday I lifted and did my gravel bike because the gravel bike is so fun, and it's like the rides are really short, so it's like kind of nice to spin the legs out. I'm debating tomorrow's Monday, and I'm like, I feel like I should just actually do like a full rest day. But also Monday's like the only day I can get to the gym, which is also unfortunate because it's like the day after my long run, which probably isn't great either. So I've been trying to do the gym twice a week. But yeah, I mean, if I don't go tomorrow, then I could probably only go once. But we'll see. I've been very consistent about the gym, guys. Okay, very proud of myself. But yeah, I did 14 miles. I only ran one other day this week. I had hill repeats on Tuesday. The tib was tibbing bad. I almost didn't even, I like started running. I like did my 10-minute warm up, and then like most of the time it like warms up and it still kind of hurts, but I can run through it. Sorry, turned my mic off. But yeah, most of the time it like kind of warms up and I can run through it, and then it just like kind of hurts after and like the next day. But yeah, like I did my warm up for my hill repeats, and I was like, oh my God, like this really fucking hurts. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the workout. And so I was like, okay, I had 12 1-minute repeats. So I did 2, and I was like, okay, it's actually starting to feel a little bit better. So I got the whole workout in. It was really good. And then I was like technically supposed to do like a recovery run. I don't know. My coach is like chilling. He's like, if you want to do your run on Friday, you can. But like he also had a gravel ride on the schedule. So I did, I think I talked about this in the last episode, but I'm on this kick right now, which is really fun, where I can't fall asleep if I have anything the next morning. So the last like 3 times I've tried, I haven't been to the donut run in months. Every single time on Thursday night, I like put all this pressure on myself to try to fall asleep because I have to wake up at 5:30. It's not that early. That's 1 hour earlier than I normally wake up. It's like not a big deal. But I don't know. I just get in my head and can't fall asleep. And then I'm like, okay, it's fine. You don't have to go. So then I'll like turn my alarm off and like reset it for later. And then I still can't fall asleep. And this has happened, I don't know. It's like I'm very in my head about this right now. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so I didn't get to the donut run Friday, which is fine. So I only ran twice this week, but it ended up being more miles than a lot of the other weeks because my long run today was so long. But yeah, it was good. I would say my ankle actually felt really good the entire run, guys. Usually it kind of hurts. Like I can kind of feel it while I'm running. I mean, it hurts now, not hurts. It's like tender now after the run, but I ran through it and it was a really good run, and it was really fucking hot because I started really late, like 9 a.m. It's not that late, but it was like kind of foggy when I woke up, and I was like, I should have started the run when it was foggy and there was no sunshine. Yeah, I'm trying to think if like anything happened. My right quad was hurting, which was interesting. I think it was my new bike fit on my road bike. I don't know if I talked about this in the podcast, but I got bike fit on my TT, my new TT and my road bike. My new road bike, it literally is so comfortable, guys. If you can afford it, I mean, it can be expensive, but I highly, highly, highly recommend getting a professional bike fit, because I've had that road bike for over 2 years, and like I kind of just base it off of my old road bike, which I also never got a bike fit on. I've obviously had bike fits on like TT bikes and stuff because it's just like more complex, but I was just like, it's fine. But then I was having this like persistent like hamstring pain in my left hamstring, and I'm like, it started suspiciously close to the time I got my Canyon road bike. I'm like, it's probably the bike fit. I also have been struggling with saddle sores, which is cute. Basically just like a giant, I talked about this in the pod too, my big cyst on my crotch pit, and I'm like, that has to be the saddle. So anyway, I got my bike fit, and it's so comfortable. Like I don't think, if you look at the pictures, like the before and after, it doesn't look like he even did that much, but it's just like a world of difference. But he did say, because I'm higher up and closer to the, like my seat's further forward, that it does put more strain on the quads versus the hamstrings. And I did a big ride yesterday, so I was like, oh, that's got to definitely probably be a factor. But you know what? Who knows? And I told him, I was like, I think you're gonna you're gonna help cure my ankle problems. So I'm like, you're doing you're doing the Lord's work. You don't even know. But yeah, I mean, what did I say? I put in a 17-hour week this week. It was kind of intense, which is also crazy because I also didn't do my interval workout on Thursday, like on my TT bike, and I still hit 17 hours. I'm like, imagine if I did that. But yeah, I got on my TT bike, guys. So okay, it was really nice on Thursday. I prefer intervals on the trainer because it's easier to like control the variables, but like if it's nice out, I'll go outside, and I just got the bike. I want to flex on these hoes, okay? So I got to the Rose Bowl, and the derailleur, like the whatever is that what it's called? Derailleur died? The battery on the derailleur. So I was stuck in the small ring. If I had been stuck in the big ring, it would have been fine because I could still shift in the back, but I was like, I can't really push watts if I'm in the small ring. So I was like, fuck, okay. I rushed home. I had places to be too. So I rushed home and put it on the trainer. This is the first time I've ever put the Speed Max on my trainer. Now listen, guys, you know I'm bad at bike maintenance, okay? And I was trying to talk to my friends, and they were like, no, you probably have the wrong, like this. No, I have the Zwift cog. We've talked about it on the podcast before. Basically, it replaces the cassette on the trainer. It's just like one chain ring, and it's supposed to fit every bike. It can fit any bike, okay? And then you have like buttons to do electronic shifting. I could not get this fucking bike on the fucking trainer. I had a meltdown, first of all. The bike, I was literally crying. I had somewhere to be, so I only had a limited amount of time. The workout wasn't that long, but I was like 40 minutes, still couldn't get the fucking bike on the trainer. So, first of all, the bike, did not know this, has track dropouts or reverse dropouts. So dropouts are like, I don't know. When you take your bike, like your wheel off your bike, you literally just lift the bike off and then pull the wheel down, and it's like easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? Like I could get my old TT bike on and off the trainer in like seconds. Easy, not hard at all. This one, you have to pull the wheel backwards and then kind of like pull the chain off, and it kind of fucking slingshots off. It sucks. It's really hard to take off and hard to put on. But apparently also fucking impossible to put it on the trainer. So I put it on, and I don't know if it was because of where the derailleur is. So when you use the Zwift cog, you kind of have to be in like a middle gear because like where the derailleur is, so it like lines up. And so I'm like, maybe that's what it was. I don't know. So I got the bike on, and then I couldn't get the fucking through axle into the trainer. And I was like, maybe the axle doesn't fit. So I took the bike off, put the axle in, guess what? Slid right in. That's what she said. Slid right in. I was like, glided. I was like, okay, so it clearly fits. So I was getting so mad, and I was like, I'm gonna like break the bike because I'm trying to like force this and I can't do it. So what was happening was that the through axle just wouldn't go in. It would go like halfway in. So it would go like through the one hole of the bike and then get stuck. And then I'd like kind of realign things. And then if I could get that through axle all the way to the other side, it would not screw into the other side of the bike. Still don't know why. I'm pissed. I'm sure it was user error. But I was just like, how fucking stupid am I that I can't get my bike on my trainer? And this has to be like a relatable experience for some people at least. I know others are probably listening and they're like, Carolyn, that's really embarrassing. Probably shouldn't talk about that publicly because it's like, you just put the bike on the trainer and then put the axle in it. Like, it should take minutes. But anyway, now I'm dreading my next trainer session because I'm going to have to deal with it. And my bike mechanic's out of town, guys. He's gone. I don't know. He's gone for like a month. And I'm in a crisis. Also, I wanted to put, this is so embarrassing. I got thicker tires for my gravel bike, which honestly, like, I don't even know if I need now. But I bought them. And they're like knobbier and they're a little bit thicker. They're 45s. I have 40s on my gravel bike. But I got them because everyone was like, oh, it'll be like easier. You'll be less scared. And I was like, maybe I can get them put on before I go to Unbound. Obviously tubeless. And then my mechanic was like, oh, I'm leaving to go to Morocco. That's where he's from, to visit his family. And I'm like, how dare you? How dare you leave me right now? And so I didn't have time. And then, like, it's literally just changing the tires. But I don't know how to put the seal in it. Guys, this is so embarrassing. I don't know how to do shit. I just pay him. I'll be like, and he has a van. So we've talked about this before. But, like, he's a mobile bike shop. And so I'm like, Hitch, I need help. And I'll just text him and he'll be like, and he lives super close. I'll be like, can you just take my bike? Blah, blah, blah. And then I'll just, like, come pick it up later. And then I just pay him money. And I'm like, I would pay that man, like, to keep him on retainer, I would pay him an annual salary just so he could, like, help me with my bike troubles. And I know that I probably could just YouTube stuff and learn stuff on my own. That's probably what most people do. I'm a smart gal. I have a master's degree. I'm not a complete idiot. But I get, like, PTSD or something because I'm like, I feel like there's been times in the past where I've had issues with my bike and I've tried to solve them on my own because I'm, like, stubborn. And then it ends up snowballing to the point where I've, like, broken the bike. That's actually never happened. But, like, I've just, like, made things worse. Haven't solved the issue. And then I get so frustrated that I'm crying and it puts me in a bad mood. And I'm like, that doesn't sound fun to me. Also, I have cute nails and I don't want to mess them up. Okay? So anyway, I don't know why I went on this tangent. But yeah. I really don't even know how we got here. Oh yeah, the TT bike on the trainer. Yeah. So basically the moral of the story is I didn't do my intervals. And then I went to go to the Girls Gotta Eat live show by myself. Honestly, it was very fun. It didn't feel weird to be there. Like, everyone, it's a bunch of girls, you know? It wasn't weird to be there alone. It was really fun. It was like at 7, done. Home by like 9:30. Love that. Before my bedtime. And then I was like, okay, I was trying to do my intervals on Friday. And so I was like, obviously going to have to do them outside because this fucking bike won't go on the trainer. I burped, excuse me. So I was like, we had the gravel ride planned. And I was like, okay, I'll do my TT intervals, switch bikes, meet the girlies for a gravel ride. I got 5 miles in. I don't know if my power meter wasn't calibrated. I could not put watts down. I did my warm up and then I had over-unders. I don't know, it was like 5 minute, then 2 minute, whatever. And it was like the 5 minute intervals are 95% of your FTP, whatever. I couldn't even like put down over 200 watts. I like could not do it. So I got cranky and I did 9 miles. And again, I just feel like this is kind of a relatable experience. So just like know that everyone's fake online. Everyone's a fraud and people have bad workouts. So anyway, yeah, just like, I'm just here to give you like the real side of things because not every workout's going to be perfect, obviously. And that's okay. And you know what? If you don't feel like, it would have just been better for me just to not even try to do the intervals, just completely toss that workout in the trash after the trainer incident, not try to do it Friday. Like it would have been, I mean, it probably would have been in a better mood, but it's just like, if there's certain instances where, you know what? I'm going to skip my workout and everything's going to be okay. So yeah, that's kind of how my week went. And then hopefully Michelle and I can find a time to record this week. I'm less busy. Last week was chaotic. Like that's why I'm recording on a Sunday. Michelle and I usually do like Thursday or Friday. And she couldn't film today. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's just like, I've been everywhere. There's like days where I leave my house like 5 times to just go places. Just like random errands and stuff. I don't like leaving my house, so it's just been a lot. And then Michelle's super busy too, and I'm sure she just did that 5K, so I'm sure she's probably going to talk about that. I don't know if she's how the order of the episode's going to go, but I am running. I haven't really talked about this, but I'm running the Venice Beach Half Marathon next weekend, which will be so fun. I just love a half marathon. They're just, and I'm not obviously tapering because I just ran 2 hours, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'll wait till tomorrow to see what my coach gives me, but yeah, I'm super excited for that. I'm not gonna like try to PR. I say that every time and then I get excited, but I don't even know what the course is. I don't know shit about this race, to be honest. I just know it's sponsored by Gooder, and I really like Gooder. So it'll be good. Yeah. Oh, and then I got invited to this like LA food. Okay. One more thing, and then I will let you guys go. But as a part of a brand deal, there's this like, what is it? It's a food festival put on by, I think it's like Eater. Is that what it's called? It's like one of those food Instagram account / like news outlets that has like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Like, there's like one in LA, one in New York, and it'll be like Eater LA. Is that what it's called? I don't know. But they're hosting a food festival in Santa Monica next weekend. And my management team was like, hey girl, do you want free tickets to this event? All you have to do is post an Instagram story for LaCroix. I fucking love LaCroix. Hell yeah, count me in. Free food. And then I found out the tickets for the food fest are $25. And I can bring a friend, so I'm bringing Jordan. But the tickets for the food festival are $25 each. And it doesn't include anything, I don't think. Maybe. But like the food isn't included. And Jordan's like, oh, maybe it's not worth it then. But then I like looked at the Reddit as you do, and it was like the food's really cheap. And I was like, I don't know, it sounds fun and it's food. I don't care. I just like to eat. So how perfect though, because that's on Saturday, so I can go pick up my bib and then go eat some food that's not free. So anyway, that's about it though. Hopefully again, we get together and can talk more about the half marathon before next weekend. And I apologize again for the solo episode. Hopefully these aren't the worst because again, I just come in with absolutely no plan. So anyway, look how cute my cat is. I kind of like this angle. You can see how fucked up my couch cushions are too. Look at that. Jordan likes to like put his elbow up on the cushion and like flatten, like he like really ruins the back of the couch, but we just fluff them back up. No big deal. Anyway, yeah, if you guys like this show, please rate us, follow us on Instagram, even though we literally don't post there anymore. I need to be better about that. And we will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.